Hey guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your first time on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe, share, like and comment. So today we are going to be discussing those things you need as a baker. Like if you are just going into the business of baking and you're wondering what are those things I need to get for myself to be a professional, I'm here to help. Calm down. So I've been having requests from my students, those that have participated in my online baking and cooking classes. They have asked, what are those things I need to get? Can you list them out for me? Honestly, you can't. Baking is just very wide that you can't get everything you need when it comes to baking at once. Please, the bakers in the house, if there are other things that I did not mention in this video and you think they should be there, sure, please feel free to drop your comments in the comment section, and don't forget to share with other bakers too. As you know, no one is an island of knowledge and we can all make mistakes. So there are some things that you think Diversity Diva should have added but I didn't add. Please pardon me and don't forget to drop in the comment section. Okay, so the first thing on our list today is the measuring cups. So as a baker, I don't know, how can you bake without measuring? Baking is a science, if you agree with me. So you have to follow recipes and procedures strictly if you want the best result. Like if you want it to turn out fine and well, you need to follow recipes. And how can you do that if you just eyeball everything the way we do in Nigeria now? We eyeball pepper, we eyeball seasoning into our food. So that can be wrong. Please don't do that. When it comes to baking, you don't have to eyeball. What you do is follow recipes strictly. When you ask to add 2 cups, add 2 cups. So I'm going to be showing you what measuring cups look like. Here we have it. This is what I use. I actually started with this, like my experience the first time I went to the market to get something to bake with, measuring cups actually. So this is what I got. So your measuring cups will look like this. You have a cup there, half cup, quarter cup, 3/4. You have one tablespoon, 1 teaspoon, quarter teaspoon, quarter tablespoon. You understand? You get them. They can come like this, and some can just be a big cup as a whole. Just get anyone. All we need is for you to have your recipes correct, for you to measure correctly and all. Then the next thing we have here is our wooden and rubber spatula. Okay, so when it comes to spatula, wooden and rubber, I have plastic here. Here is a plastic spatula. It came with a mixer for mixing. You understand? So it came with it, and I have rubber spatulas too here. Here is one rubber spatula, as you can see. rubber indeed. Yeah. So, and here is another size of a rubber spatula. So these actually came in 3 sets. This and the third one lying somewhere in my bakery there. So that is that. We're moving to pastry brush. Okay, so for the pastry brush, you need a pastry brush because you need to make pastries at one point in time. And how do you egg wash your is it meat pie, is it glazed donut, name it, or is it fish pie? What are you making? How do you egg wash it without your pastry brush? Yes, look at my pastry brush. That's been working for years. So I decided to bring this out because this is the popular type of pastry brush you get. We have silicone ones too. Fine, feel free to get anyone, but this is cheap. And remember, we are talking about beginners here, those that are new to baking and they just intend to practice more so they can be better, not perfect. So they can be better when it comes to baking. So you can just get this to start with, then as time goes on, when you see that you need to get more, then you can just go for others. You can go for expensive ones. I got this around, is it 100 naira, 100 or 150 as at when I got this, I guess 3-4 years ago. Really can't remember. It has stayed. Don't mind me. Okay, so that's that for the pastry brush. The next thing we have is whisk. Yes, whisk. Now, for people that usually ask me, for students in my class, they'll be like, "Madam, what if I don't have a mixer, a stand mixer or a hand mixer? What do I do? How do I go about it?" Okay, now this is where the whisk comes in. If you are looking for a way to beat your butter or your batter, and you don't have a mixer, feel free, use this. It can be quite stressful, fine, just go for this. It's actually okay. Yeah. The next thing we have here is the kitchen scissors. Kitchen scissors, I really don't think that's necessary actually, but just for naming sake, you can have a kitchen scissors if you want. And one more thing, you don't have measuring cups, you should have digital scale. There are some recipes that they don't come in 2 cups, 3 cups. They come in 200 grams, 300 grams, 200 grams of flour, 500 grams of egg, 400 grams of butter, 400. You understand? Grams. How do you measure it? Like, seriously, get yourself a digital scale. You can get a plastic digital scale around, I think 3,000. Yes, 3K. You get a plastic one, just a mini one for a beginner. It's fine. The next thing we have here is our rolling pin. So you want to bake. Do you intend to bake buttercream and all those buttercream, royal icing, whipped cream cakes alone? No, you have to go for fondant. Yes, bake with fondant. So in terms of the rolling pin, this is what you use to roll out your fondant. Okay, yeah. So your plastic or your iron cutters, this is a plastic cutter, and this is another size of a plastic cutter. You can actually get any size, any size and any shape of your choice at the market. Depends on what you want. And this is the iron cutters. We have iron cutters. This is, as you can see, the size of these and these are not the same. Their shapes are different as well. Look at these two. So they are cutters, and you can actually use it in any areas of fondant, or when it comes to decorating your fondant cakes, they can be used. So the next thing we'll be talking about here is cake combs. Okay, so you see some cakes, the design will be like, you will be curious. Okay, what are they using? What's this? Why is the cake like this? All thanks to cake combs. So your cake combs can come like this, iron, and it can be plastic. So I got this as a set. It came as a cake comb, a smoother, and I think 2 smoothers actually, yes, of size something like this. So that's that for cake combs. It's mainly used in decorating your cake, nothing more than that. Then the next thing we have here is your smoothers. Your smoothers, like if you're going to be smoothing out your cakes, like after crumb coating, I'll soon be dropping a video on that. So you may think I'm using some professional terms, just calm down. I'll soon be dropping a video on how to crumb coat your cake, what's the importance of crumb coating, what is crumb coating all about, and stuff like that. We are not discussing that today. Okay, so we move to the smoother section now. Pardon me as I reach out to my stove. They are just right before me here. So as smoothers, here is what I mean by smoothers. We have a bigger one here. Here is a plastic smoother. We have this, a smaller one, and we have these too. You can see the shapes they are quite different from each other. So they are all smoothers. They are used to smoothing out your cake, especially your buttercream, your royal icing cake, and your whipped cream cake. These are the things they use to smoothing it out. They become smooth. Yes, these are what bakers use. Okay, so what else do we have here? Apart from the cake smoothers, pardon me, the cake smoothers, we have fine mesh sieve. Okay, this sieve is just meant to, it just help you sieve out your flour, your icing sugar, your flour. So just sieve it out because of some particles you may have inside. In most cases, what you don't want is having giant rocks of flour or giant rocks of what's it called, of icing sugar when you're going to be using it to decorate or something. So those things can actually ruin your work. So you don't want that. You want to finally sieve out your flour or your icing sugar before using at all. That's just one tip I've just pointed out for you. Don't mention, thank me later. Okay, so the next thing we have here is piping tips. You see, when it comes to these piping tips of a thing, you can't finish naming it. Piping tips, we have loads of them, like honestly loads of them, and I think I have a few here that I'll just show you guys. Just a few, really. See, piping tips, look at this can be used to make basket weave. As you can see, basket weave, the sign on cakes. These can be used for an entirely different, so we have different type of piping tips and different uses. So if you're looking out to get a piping tip, please be sure to go to the market and select out what you want for yourself. Honestly, they are just too different designs, different patterns that you just can't explain. So if it's piping tips, oh, you have lots of them in the market, and you just have to watch out for which one you want to get. So we are moving to coupler now. I'm dropping a video on how to use this coupler too, because if we say that we should start explaining now, it's a short story actually, well explanatory, but we'll just come back to that later. Okay, so by coupler. Okay, so the coupler, this is what the coupler looks like. Okay, this is actually a bigger one. I have smaller ones, but they are not handy right now. I don't have them anywhere close. They are not on the table here. So this is what a coupler looks like. I'll be dropping a video very soon on how to use a coupler too, so we can have a better understanding of it. So this is a coupler. You will need this. It can come in handy at any time, especially when you're trying to use the same frosting, the same buttercream or the same whipped cream frosting you have in your piping bag to make different type of designs, and that will require that you change the tips. That is when you will need these couplers we have here. So I think I don't want to give you lots of information on this right now. Don't worry, you'll get it very soon. But this is what a coupler look like. So the next thing we have here on my list is the serrated knife. Okay, so what's the serrated knife? Here is what it looks like. This is used to level your cake. It can be used to level your cake. You can use it to trim your cake. And guys, please, this is very sharp. Once you get one, you actually know what I'm talking about here. It's very sharp. Look at the blade. It looks like that of carpentry saw. It's just the tiny version actually. So please, if you know if you know that you're going to have this, you should be, in fact, you should take care of it very well. Like this sliced through my finger a couple of months ago, and I was very close to having depression. Don't mind me, but this can be very painful when it slices through your finger. I'm telling you. So it's very sharp. It's used to level your cake. It's used to trim your cakes, and you can also use it for other different stuffs, to the things I didn't mention now. So the next thing we're talking about is your cake pan. How do you bake without your cake pan? And one funny thing about our cake pan is they come in different sizes and shapes. Look at this one. This is square. Yes, square in shape. And if you're going to bake a square shape, you're definitely going to use this. This is what you'll be using to bake a square shape. I also have one that is also round in shape here, round baking pan. Yeah, I have my cutters inside. Okay, so here is also a round one. I've been using this for how many years now? It has stayed. Live English. It has stayed. Okay, so that's that. Next thing we're talking about here is loaf pan. Okay, so this is very important if you are going to be baking a bread, a loaf. So you understand. So you definitely need to use this. This is what brings out the shape of your bread. And some have also been using it for other things. You can also use it to bake cake. Nothing bad, nothing spoiled. So that's that for your loaf pan. We have wire rack, also called cooling rack. So the importance of this is once your cake is out of the oven, what you do is you put it on the cooling rack so it can cool down and get it prepared for decoration or whatever you're using it for. Mainly for decoration, because you can't decorate your cake when it's still hot now, you understand. So you have to cool it down first. And people have even improvised now. Once they take it out of the oven, what they do is they just place it here. They turn this upside down. Sorry, I have stoves here, that's why. So they turn it upside down, they place their cake here, let it cool down, and they use it. So some bakers don't have time for drama. They have moved on with their life before you know what is happening. Okay, so that's for the wire rack or the cooling rack. The next thing I have here in my list here is your hand or your stand mixer. Hand or stand mixer. Okay, so the one I have here is actually a stand mixer because it has a table and it can stand on its own and can work on its own. So as it is a stand mixer, you may ask me, since this is a stand mixer, so what about a hand mixer? Don't worry, I'll show you what a hand mixer looks like. So hand mixer is just something that does not have the table with it. Do you understand? Do you get my point? This is a hand mixer like this, so you can just use it anyhow, mix and everything, just get your work done. That's that for the hand mixer. So we'll be moving to parchment paper. Okay, so I've used parchment paper in some of my videos and my students were like, madam, what's that thing you put inside your baking pan and you bake with the cake? It looks like paper. I said yes, it's a paper. It's called parchment paper or a baking paper. And here is an example of parchment paper. This is it. So just cut out the part you need, place it in your baking pan, and you're good to go. What does this do? It does not allow your cake to stick to the baking pan. You see some people, after baking their cake, then to bring it out of the baking pan becomes an issue. Even after it cools down, it becomes an issue for them. So with a parchment paper, trust me, your cake will not stick to your pan and you will have the best results. So the next thing we have is the angular the flat or the offset spatula. So angular, flat, or offset spatula. Okay, so this can be called the angular and the offset spatula. Look at it, because of the angle, it's like this, so it's called the angular. So this gives you control over your cake, like in so many ways. You can use it to decorate, to apply frosting on your cake, whichever way you want. So this is called the angular spatula or the offset spatula, while this is called the flat spatula. It's also a spatula, but it's rhyme with its name. It's flat spatula, so it's fine. And the next thing we have here is the piping bag. The piping bag, yes, that's the next thing we have. This is actually reusable, it's not disposable. As you can see, it's thicker than the usual one we used to have, which is this. So this type of piping bag is disposable. Once you use it once, like, just dispose it. Like, I've seen people use it over and over again actually, but it's actually called disposable. Like, people use disposable nose masks now, so why not? People wash disposable nose mask and they use again, so why not use your piping bag again to cut down on some expenses? You're free, feel free to wash and use again if you want to, but this is reusable, it is not disposable. This is very thick and it's durable compared to this one. Okay, so the next thing we have here is cake board. After baking and decorating your cake, where will you place it? You need your cake board. So this comes in different sizes and shapes and everything. This can be square, it can be rectangle, and it can be circle, just like the ones I have here. This my cake boards, they have stayed too. They have stayed too. So I've been using them for a couple of years now, and they have really served me a lot. So just look out for durable stuffs and you'll be fine with it. Okay, so the next thing we have here is our turntable. Which one is the diva saying again? Oh, turntable, calm down. Here is what we mean by a turntable. Here is the plastic one. This gives you control over your cake. Just place your cake on top like this and just walk your way through. Then you'll find yourself walking easier with your cake. Instead of you trying to adjust it on the table is trying to drag with you, you're dragging with the table. Why not have your total control over your cake, your product yourself? And for the turntable, this is just another type of turntable too. This is the iron one. So for now, as a beginner, you may not need to get this one. To start with, you're a beginner now, so you start somewhere. We all started somewhere. Look at this, I have 3 of these. Yes, I have 3 of these, and I have this. So we all need to start from somewhere, and as time goes on, baking is advancing. You start seeing different designs. You need to attend seminars, conference, just to meet up with your mates. Like this baking industry is competitive. Like you have to, if you don't have the skill to meet up with trending styles and designs, people will just look at you like, this one does not know what he's doing. So you just have to run as fast as this industry is running or is taking us. Just run with it, blend with it. So as you keep pursuing it, you go with it, trust me, you'll definitely find yourself somewhere worthwhile. Baking is not difficult, and at the same time, it is not easy. Okay, so what's the next thing we have on our list? Next thing here is oven. Yes, you need to bake, and if you're going to bake, you need your oven. Okay, so with the oven, with your oven, you can get an oven as cheap as, I guess, 15,000. Yes, just a small oven will be fine. And there's some oven that comes with gas cookers. The only problem I used to have with that sometimes is controlling the temperature can be difficult. You understand? So that's that. And the next thing we have here is your work surface. If you are going to work, you are going to decorate your cake, you need a flat, beautiful surface where you need to work, especially if you're working with fondant. You can actually decorate a buttercream cake on a flat surface, just on a table, then it will be fine. But you will need a work surface. Trust me, if you are going to decorate a fondant cake, because you need to roll it out, roll your fondant out on that work surface. That same work surface, you will need to roll your fondant there. But if you are going to use cutters, cut it out there. So you definitely need that. Honestly, that is all we have for today. And don't forget to drop in the comment section if you have anything you can put into it. If there is anything that I missed out, you think Diversity Diva should have added, the Diva should have added it, please. I'm not an island of knowledge, like I forget things easily. That's just me. So that's why I have to pen some things down so that they don't skip my mind and I don't forget. So thank you very much. It's so good to have you guys here today. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I'll be bringing you more videos. And as you subscribe, please click on the notification button so that whenever I drop any new video, you'll be notified. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself and have a nice day. Bye.